Hello everybody, it's been a long time. I just want to put a quick video out about Murphy. I'm following the Idaho 4 case as always and Delphi. Those are the two cases I'm really invested in. And I haven't got time really to talk a lot about what's going on, but I've seen in all the comments after the hearing that so many people are really puzzled as to why Murphy stayed in Kaylee's room with the door open and had no blood on him. It's not a mystery to me. I just want to explain why this really isn't as strange as you think. Before I get into that, I just want to say about my last video on Kaylee's room. Jeff, I think this is a first, but I agree with you. In my comment section, Jeff H had pointed out to me that I might have misinterpreted what Steve Gonsalves meant when he said there was nothing in Kaylee's room. Considering we can see Kaylee's belongings in her room in the photos with Dylan that night, I think Jeff's right. I think Steve meant there was nothing in there. There were no signs of a struggle, no violence, no evidence, nothing in Kaylee's room. So nothing happened in there that night. So, Jeff, I agree. Let's have some fireworks. So this leads me on to Murphy in Kaylee's room and what we discovered in the last hearing. So there's a lot of comments going around about how weird it is that Murphy stayed in Kaylee's room with no blood on him, with the door open. So many people have been saying that he must have been taken away and put back in there. This is so weird, can't make sense of it. Any dog would go and lie next to Kaylee. Completely disagree. Now, some dogs would. I'm convinced of that. But many dogs wouldn't, especially an 11-month-old pup. A gentle breed, and a dog that just was a baby. Murphy was used to parties. It was a party house. People were coming and going, but that is such a different vibe to what went on that night. And dogs understand vibes. They get vibes. They pick up on vibes. So let's take this scenario. Murphy, say, had settled down with Kaylee in Kaylee's room. Maybe Kaylee heard something, leaves the door open. Murphy comes out to see what's going on, but doesn't like the vibe that's starting to surround the people in the house. So this baby, this young dog, trust me, is going to scamper back into his safe space. He's going to go back to Kaylee's room. So then, obviously, really awful things start happening. The smells in that house are going to start changing. He's going to sense fear, great fear. He's going to sense panic. I personally believe there was screaming. There was certainly crying. And probably sounds of exertion as somebody is stabbing someone. 11-month-old dog is not going to immerse himself into that environment. He's going to hide. I've got 4 dogs at the moment, and I've had dogs for 40 years, and I can tell you that my dogs would hide. Now, not all dogs are heroes. They get afraid. They're frightened like the rest of us. My Labrador is 7, okay? When she was 11 months old, she would not even have alerted that someone was outside. I really believe that. Now at 7, she's a great guard dog. Anything foreign, any foreign noise outside, she will growl and she will tell me there's something out there that doesn't belong. Could be a fox, could be a cat, but she'll tell me. If someone came in the house and started attacking me, I will put money on it that she would frantically circle and throw herself at the door and scratch at the door to get out. She'd really want to get away. Now, I'm not saying that after it all calmed down, she wouldn't come back and have a look and see what had happened. She's the one that might actually lay down next to me and put her head on my feet. But she's 7. She would I really don't believe she'd have done that at 11 months. My Cairn Terrier would not do any of that. He would hide. Anything he doesn't like, even Christmas crackers, which we can't have anymore, First of all, he frantically was scratching to get out. But if there was any kind of conflict in the room, he'd just want to get away from it. And the 3 Cairn Terriers I've had in my life, they would all go and hide. If I had an argument with my ex, they'd just run up the stairs and go under the bed, and they'd stay there because they were happy there. It was safe. There was no noise up there that they didn't like. Add the smell of blood, the sounds of stabbing, the smell of death to that. You could have the door wide open. My dog would not leave that bedroom. I can promise you. Even when he was 4, 5, 6, he wouldn't come out. The cairn I've got at the moment is the same, and my first cairn would have done exactly the same thing. I remember a time I had to take the door frame off. I didn't do it, a carpenter did, to get me into my flat because I'd locked my keys in there. And there was my lovely dog trembling under the bed. Eventually he crept out when he realised that I was with the carpenter. So Murphy, at 11 months old, I'm not sure exactly how old he was, but I know he wasn't yet 1, and he wasn't tiny puppy. But his mistress is probably now in Maddie's room. The attack is savage on both of them. There is nobody to comfort Murphy. He does not know what is going on. He just knows that there's noise. The smells are terrifying. Probably his mistress is screaming. And he doesn't know what to do. He just needs to go and kind of take it away. He just needs to get away from it. I truly believe he would have gone into Kaylee's room and hidden under the bed, and he wouldn't have come out for a long, long time. And the main reason he'd have gone, there's 2 main reasons he'd have stayed in there. And one is it was quiet in there. As Steve said, nobody went into Kaylee's room. There was nothing in there. So it was quiet in there. It was probably the only quiet room in the house. And the biggest thing, it smelt of Kaylee. It was good smells of Kaylee. His mistress's smells were in there. And it makes me so sad to say that. But alive Kaylee was in that room. And that dog will have taken comfort in his safe space. He went to his mistress. He really did. But he went to the smells of his mistress. The smells he recognised, the smells he loved, and he stayed there. So you're wrong when he said he didn't stay with Kaylee. He did. He stayed with the Kaylee that was alive, and the smells he associated with her being alive. I don't believe for 1 minute he wanted to go and be with a Kaylee he just didn't know, didn't recognise, a Kaylee that really frightened him because he didn't understand. So let's not jump to conclusions that he was taken away and taken back and put back in the room. This, to me, is Murphy's Occam's razor. I'm really not even convinced that it was Murphy who was barking. I personally believe, and this is just my opinion, that there was a neighbourhood dog that was aware of people coming into the neighbourhood. He was alerting. I think there were things going on around that house after the white car left, and there were noises this dog didn't recognise. I mean, that neighbourhood was quiet until all this happened, allegedly. I think the dog was alerting and there's something going on next door. Oh, another car's arrived, or this car's driven off, and that dog will have heard screams. A dog in another house would hear screams because dogs can hear better than we can. They can smell better than we can. That neighbour's dog could possibly have smelt the blood. But that dog was safe in its own home. So let's not just assume that the barking dog was Murphy as well. I mean, I'm not convinced it was Murphy. He might have given a few little barks, but I think he would have hidden very quickly afterwards. So there we are, guys. It's been really nice talking to you. Please stay safe, take care, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.
But if I lay down and I play dead